Okay, uh, welcome to all in today's lectures once again. That is, we discussed today that is the aggregate operators and functions used in our SQL language. What is the aggregate functions? In that case, here we consider the database management system. The aggregate function is the function where the values of multiple rows are grouped together as an input on a certain criteria to form a single value of or a more significant meaning. Okay, we consider multiple records into a single one. We calculate the average, that is here functions were given there, that is the average, mean, max, sum, count. Now all these are nothing but the aggregate functions used in your SQL language. Aggregate functions in the sense that is we have the 10 queries or we have 10 tuples in the given table. We combine all these 10 tuples into a single one, okay, into a single, and we find out the meaningful information. We find out the significant meaning of that particular from that particular tuples. Okay, here we consider the first function, that is the average function. AVG is there. This function returns the average value. Okay, the average function AVG returns the average value. That is, we can calculate the average of 10 numbers. We have to given the example we consider here. Consider the average balance of account. Okay, we calculate the average balance from the account where branch equal to F0. We have the database at that particular context. We consider all these database, that is a bank database, bank system database in the previous section. Okay, now in this case here average function calculate the average value. Mean function, that is we find out the minimum value from the given table. Okay, from the given tuple, that is this particular function can be applied on a single column. Okay, we apply the average function on a single column in the given relation, and we can consider all these function in the select clause. Okay, we have to use this average function, then we consider that functions, that average functions in case of a select clause. We use in that select clause because we select clause, we consider the column names. Okay, we consider the attribute name, and we apply the function for the corresponding attributes. Okay, now one function can consider for the one or any one of them, only any one of the attributes. That is, we apply multiple functions on the multiple attributes, but at a time we consider average. We calculate the average of a balance at a time. We don't have to calculate the average of loan on the same time, in the same way. If you want to consider the average of loan, then we consider the second one more use of the AVG function. Okay, like this we consider all these functions. Now we have to do or we calculate all these things. We consider that particular representation in hands-on practicals. That is, we consider this particular representation. Can you see my SQL command prompt? Can you see the SQL command prompt, yes or no? I think I will share only one PowerPoint is there. I will share whole screen to all of you. Okay, I hope all of you can see this. Now we have to use bank system. We consider the average value. We use the average functions. That is, we calculate the average. Select. We consider first of all select star from bank. Select star from account. From the account table we get these particular values, and now we calculate the average of all these balances, okay, given in the particular account. That is, select avg average of a balance, from account table, and here we apply the condition where branch name equals to FC road. Branch name is FC road, means what? We have the FC road, we have two accounts. Okay, and from these two accounts we calculate the average value of these two accounts. From the account, if you want to calculate total average of all the branches of that particular balance, then we consider our query at this point. That is, the average value is given there 10,400. This is the average balance of all the branches, but you want only a particular branch, then we mention the query with where clause, where br name equals to FC road. We pass the value in case of a single quote or double quote, FC row. we have to get the average balance of FC road. We get the value 10,000. Okay, FC road first value is given there, average 10,000, 5,000, and second one is nothing but the 15,000. We combine these two, that is sum of 5,000 and 15,000, that is a 20,000, and we divide by 2, that is the total number of branches here identified are 2. We get the divided by 2, that is we get the 10,000, that is the average value. Okay, we calculate the average value, and in this case we perform the sum of all these amounts, and then we can divide by the number, that is total number of branches are given there, or total number of rows tuples are there, 1 2 3 4 and 5, divided by 5 all the sum of these numbers and divided by 5, then we will get this 10,000 for that is 10400, that is the value of that particular AVG function. Now if you want to consider, that is represent the minimum value, maximum value, sum and number of counts, we use all these functions on the same table, that is we consider select, we want minimum amount or minimum balance from this particular table, that is we select mean of balance, minimum balance we have to select from the given account table, from the account, then we will get the minimum value is 2000. We can see this 2000 is the minimum balance in this particular all rows. Now this is the limited rows, that's why we can easily identify it. But if you have very large number of sets available in your table, very large number of tuples available in that table, at that time these particular functions are very useful in that particular case. Okay, now next thing, if you want to consider the maximum balance from the given max balance from the given record, that is 20,000 is the maximum amount is there. Okay, you can see this particular 20,000 is the maximum amount in that particular case. Now if you want to count the number of rows, we have to count the number of account from the FC road. Okay, FC road ह्या ब्रांच मध्ये किती अकाउंट्स आहेत ते आपल्याला काउंट करायचे आहेत. नाउ वी नीड टू कन्सिडर द काउंट व्हॅल्यू, दॅट इज count function, count the br name, that is the br underscore name. What we want to count, that is the br name, that is br name from the account, and here we want the counter for, that is where br underscore name equals to fc road, fc road, fc road च्या किती ब्रांचेस आहेत त्या काउंट करायच्या, then we will get the number 2, that is the count operation. Okay, this is the average function, that is the count average function we have to use, that is total 2 branches are there for the FC road, 1 and 2, and similarly we want to calculate it for the GP road, then we get the GP road as a where GP road is also 2. One more is there, MG road is also, we calculate the number of branches of MG road. How many branches is there? Only one branch is there. And if you want to calculate total number of branches, okay, total number of branches in our account table, that is here we use distinct keyword. Distinct, we check first, select distinct, count br name from account, and here we don't specify the where clause, we check first and then we conclude. Okay, total 5 branches are there, total 5 branches, that is repeatedly we have to get, that is distinct keyword is not work properly. टोटल ब्रांचेस आपण त्या ठिकाणी कुठली ब्रांच स्पेसिफिक पाहिजे आपल्याला, ती ब्रांच आपण त्या ठिकाणी मेन्शन नाही केलेली, हा वर्ड त्या ठिकाणी वर्कआउट नाही होते, काउंटर हा इन्क्रीज होत जातो, कंटिन्युअसली इन्क्रीज होत जाईल. ठीक आहे, that is nothing but the average functions. Now one more function is given there, that is the sum. We get the sum of amount of all values, that is sum of a balance, of a balance, sum of a balance from account, from account. Okay, we get the sum of all balance, some value, that is we can add all these values at a time and we will get the result. And if you want to provide some restrictions on this particular balance, sum of the balance, that is we have to get only sum of the balance of FC road branches only, we have to get sum of the balance of GP road only. Now we can mention the corresponding condition where branch name or BR name equal to this, etc. Okay, this This is nothing but the aggregate functions which are implemented with the help of select clause, and or we can use all these aggregate functions in case of a select clause. Now, next thing, when we consider next point is nothing but the aggregate operations which are performed uh, in case of a particular SQL language. Now, what is this aggregate operators? Now, there are two types. There are two points we have to use here. Aggregate functions are different and aggregate operators are different. We have to use two aggregate operators. That is, first one is nothing but the group by, and second is nothing but the having. Now, why we consider these two operators? When we get the result with the help of aggregate functions, then we need to apply some conditions on that aggregate. We have to apply some conditions on that particular aggregate functions in the select clause. At that time, we need to use aggregate operators. Now, here first of all, we discuss the having clause. In case of a having clause, it enables us you to specify the condition that filters which group results appear in the final result. Okay. Now, in this case, having clause we have to use. In this case, what happened, that is filter is applied. Okay, filter is applied. Which group results appear in the final result? कोणता group त्या ठिकाणी तुम्हाला final result मध्ये पाहिजे? Now, here we consider the example. We consider the male and female. That is, there are two groups. We have a particular class. Okay, we have a particular class. Now, in this particular class, we consider the two group. One group is for male and another group is for the female. Now, in this case, what happened? We get the result of class. We want a particular result from the given class. That is, class is nothing but the corresponding to the student. Student class is there, and we want the result as per the group. How many students are more? How many students having greater than 60% in the class? Now we can select that particular person. Now in this particular case, the query is common. That is, the percentage is greater than 60. This condition is applied for student as a girls also and as a boys also. That is, we have male and female. These are two groups can be considered, or we consider girls and boys as a two groups. Okay, and we apply the condition what, that is, we want the percentage having 60 greater than 60. We select those students having percentage greater than 60, but we arrange them according to the group. That is, all students of boys, okay, from the boys are grouped into a single unit, and the student from the girls unit, that is the girls group, can be considered in another case. Okay, that is that there are two groups can be formed. We arrange the record group by, arrange the record group wise. For that purpose, we need to consider the group by clause. Okay, and for the group by clause, we can apply the condition on this particular group by clause, that is the percentage greater than 60. We use the having clause. Okay, we have to use the having clause, or we consider the operator. Now here, where clause place the condition on selected columns. Okay, where condition is placed on the selected columns. That is, when we consider the select statement, select clause, we use the where condition. Whereas the having clause places the condition on a groups created by the group by clause. We select the record with the help of a select clause, and we place that record in the form of group with the help of group by clause, and we apply the condition on that group by clause. We need to use this having clause. Okay, we need to use this having clause. Now in this case, having clause must follow the group by clause in a query and must also precede the ordered by clause if used. In this case, we have to use we have to apply the ordered by clause also. Ordered by in the sense, that is, we apply the record of that groups selected according to the having condition. We arrange them in order. What order you want to place, that is, we place that order according to the percentage greater than 60. But we don't consider exact 60. We have to consider the percentage greater than 60, but more than 60 also. Okay, we consider both of things. That is, more than 60 means what? We have 60, 70, 65, 75, 85, like that. These are the number of records. We apply this record, or we store all these particular record group by students. All the boys students are grouped into a single in a first place, and then we start the group of girls. But we arrange all these records by percentile. in the ascending order or descending order. We discussed that order by clause in the previous lecture also. Okay, we consider that record orderly. मग त्या ठिकाणी that is या ठिकाणी काय झालं, मग स्टुडंट मध्ये बॉईज जे आहेत, बॉईजचा एक ग्रुप तयार झाला आणि त्या बॉईज मध्ये काय झालंय, असेंडिंग ऑर्डरनी त्या ठिकाणी पर्सेंटेजच्या असेंडिंग ऑर्डर नुसार स्टुडंटचे नेम्स काय होतील, अरेंज होतील. दुसरा जो हॅव्हिंग क्लॉज, दुसरा जो ग्रुप आहे गर्ल्सचा, त्या गर्ल्सच्या ग्रुपमध्ये परत काय झालं, पर्सेंटेज जे आहे 60 पासून पुढे इन्क्रीजिंग ऑर्डरने ते पर्सेंटेज काय केले जातील, त्यामध्ये डिस्प्ले केले जातील. ते मिक्सअप होणार नाही, ते काय होणार आहे तुमचे त्या ठिकाणी सॉर्ट आउट सेपरेट त्या ठिकाणी दिले जातील. अशा पद्धतीने हे हॅव्हिंग क्लॉज, ऑर्डर बाय क्लॉज आणि ग्रुप बाय क्लॉज हे कंबाइनली तुम्हाला क्वेरी मध्ये काय करता येतात, यूज करता येतात. वी कॅन सी दिस पर्टिक्युलर syntax of that particular aggregate operators with the aggregate operators. Now we consider the select column 1, column 2 from the table 1, table 2. We consider the two tables where conditions we apply on this particular selection of the column, but we select that particular columns group by. Now here we need to pass the column name also. Those columns were selected in the select clause can use in our group by clause. Okay, if we consider the column 1, column 2 in the select clause and we have to consider the group by clause with the help of another columns from the table, then it is not applicable. Okay, we select the student name, we select the student percentage, we apply the group by clause only that two columns, those we are selected with the help of select clause. Okay, student name and student percentage. We don't apply the group by clause on another, that is the contact of a student or other information or other columns given in that particular table. Okay, we consider this group by on the selected columns only. This is the selected column 1, column 2. We can apply group by clause on the same columns. Then having, we have to apply the condition on these two columns. Okay, we have to apply this group by. Group by मध्ये जे काही ग्रुप्स तयार झाले त्या ग्रुपवरती कंडिशन अप्लाय होईल. Now having clause and where we can specify the condition, and according to these conditions the record were selected, that selected record are arranged either ascending or descending, that is the order by clause. Again we can consider the same column, त्याच columnsला तुम्हाला order by clause काय करता येईल, apply करता येईल. Now we can see where condition is applied on the selection, group by is applied on these records selected. Okay, group by apply कशावर होत आहे तुमचा, ह्या पर्टिक्युलर सिलेक्टेड रेकॉर्ड वरती अप्लाय होत आहे. म्हणजे इथे वेअर सिलेक्ट फ्रॉम वेअर मध्ये जेवढं रेकॉर्ड जेवढं रेकॉर्ड तुमचं सिलेक्ट झालेलं असेल, पहिल्या केसमध्ये जेवढं रेकॉर्ड तुमचं इथपर्यंत जेवढं रेकॉर्ड सिलेक्ट होतंय त्या झाले सिलेक्ट रेकॉर्ड वरती हा ग्रुप बाय क्लॉज अप्लाय होतो. आणि ग्रुप बाय क्लॉजला कंडिशन अप्लाय करण्यासाठी तुम्हाला हॅव्हिंग क्लॉज वापरायचा आहे. आणि ह्या हॅव्हिंग क्लॉजला एका प्रॉपर ऑर्डर मध्ये किंवा या ठिकाणी सिलेक्ट झालेले रेकॉर्ड एका ऑर्डर मध्ये अरेंज करण्यासाठी, प्रॉपर ऑर्डर मध्ये अरेंज करण्यासाठी तुम्हाला ऑर्डर बाय क्लॉज यूज करायचा. Okay, that is nothing but the group by having an order clause. Now we have to consider one table is given there. The table name is customer table. Now we can first of all we need to create that customer table and then we can apply the query corresponding to that of the customer table. Okay, can you understood this? Okay, now first of all we need to create the customer table and then we can apply the query on that customer table. That is we get the practical also on the same query. We create the customer table in the same, that is I think we have one customer table already is there. Select customer, select star from customer. One customer table is already there. Now we need to change the name of this table. We create another table, that is create table demo customer. I think CUST. We only consider the name cust. Okay, or customer CUS, customer 1. Okay, customer 1 into bracket we give ID as an integer. Okay, and we can set is a primary key as a constant. Okay, now the second is nothing but the name of a customer name. It is a varchar type, varchar. Okay, we can say varchar 20. Then third column we consider age. It is the integer value. Then fourth one is nothing but the address. It is a varchar of 20. Then we consider next one is nothing but the salary. Next table is a salary, and the value for this salary is also considered. We also consider it as an integer value. Okay, int. So we create the table. Records were affected. We insert the record into this table. That is insert into customer one. Customer one values. First value ID is given there 1. Then second value is nothing but the name, so we can consider the Ramesh. Okay. Then third value corresponding to the age. Age is given there 32. Then address is Ahmednagar or Ahmedabad. Then next value is the salary. Salary is given in the form of integer. We consider the 2000. Okay, this is the record we have to insert it. Now second record is nothing but the second record is 2. Name is Rakesh. Okay, age value is 25. Address is Delhi. Salary 1500 rupees. We have to insert it. Okay. Next one is the total. We have to insert some more records. Next one is nothing but the Sagar. Age value is given there 23. Address is Kota or we consider Nagar. Okay. Salary is given that 2000. Okay. Next one more record. Value is 4. Chaitali. Name is Chaitali. Age value is 25. We consider the address as a Mumbai. And salary is 2500. Okay. Now next record we consider fifth one. Name is Hardik. Age value is 27 and he is from Pune. And salary is 8500. One more record we insert, 6 number, the Komal. Age value is given there 22. Address is Madhya Pradesh, that is we say MP, and salary is 4500. This is the last record. We select the record, all these records, select star form. First customer 1. Customer 1. We get all these records. Okay, this is the customer table. We can apply our group by clause, our having clause, and all these things in this particular table. Okay. Now, first of all, we need to select the particular customer and we arrange their values. Okay, arrange their values according to the given group. Now, what the query is given there? Query can says that display the records for which similar age count would be more than or equals to 2. Similar age count would be more than or equals to 2. Similar age count म्हणजे ज्या व्यक्तींचं एज हे सारखं असेल असा काउंटर काय करायचं, असं इन्क्रीज काउंटर तुम्हाला दाखवायचा. समजा तो जो काउंटर आहे त्याची कॉमन एज असलेले नंबर ऑफ पर्सन तुमच्या नंबर ऑफ कस्टमर टेबल मध्ये 2 पेक्षा जास्त असेल तर असे रेकॉर्ड तुम्हाला या ठिकाणी डिस्प्ले करायचे. तर असे कोणते रेकॉर्ड आहे ज्याचं सिमिलर काउंट किंवा ज्याचं काउंटरची व्हॅल्यू किंवा एज काउंटची व्हॅल्यू ही कॉमन आहे. तर कॉमन एज काउंट असलेले व्हॅल्यू कोणते आहेत ते आपल्याला या ठिकाणी कन्सिडर करायचे आणि त्यामध्ये मोर दॅन ऑर इक्वल्स टू 2. Similar age count would be more than or equals to 2. We consider this particular query. In that case, we get the result for this query. We select this particular query. Select. We apply the query set. ID comma name, comma age, comma address, comma salary. Okay, we have to consider all these things in the same from customer 1. From customer 1, now we can perform the group by. ग्रुप बाय. आता या ठिकाणी ग्रुप बाय ला तुम्हाला एज वाईज द्यायचं आहे. एज ग्रुप बाय एज. ओके, एज नुसार त्यांचे ग्रुप्स अरेंज करायचे. नाउ वी अप्लाय वेअर कंडिशन. ग्रुप बाय एज वेअर काउंट. आपण काउंट ऍव्हरेज फंक्शन बघितलं बघा, ऍग्रिगेट फंक्शन बघितलं. एज काउंट करायचं आहे. एज काउंट ग्रेटर दॅन इक्वल्स टू 2. काउंट एज. एजची व्हॅल्यू काउंट करेल तो, आणि ज्या एजची व्हॅल्यू 2 पेक्षा जास्त येईल त्या एजला काय करेल, ते रेकॉर्ड्स ते काय केले जातील, तुमचे डिस्प्ले केले जातील. विच व्हॅल्यू इज गिव्हन देअर. काय म्हटलंय, एरर सिंटॅक्स चेक द मॅन्युअल यूज नियर वेअर काउंट ऑफ एज ग्रेटर दॅन 2. group by age. First of all, we consider only group by age. Record no column ID. What happened? ID is there now. From the customer 1. Okay. Table name is wrong. Customer 1 is there. Then we can consider customer 1. Table name paga. Semicolon. Again. We only consider the group by clause, group by age. Select ID, name, age dot age आणि salary एक आहे. Customer 1 group by age. Okay, according to the group. Okay, according to the group we have these records in our table. ग्रुप वाईज हे रेकॉर्ड दिलेत. आता बाय डिफॉल्ट हा ग्रुप कसा अरेंज झालाय, 22, 23, 25, 27 अँड 23. लक्षात आलंय, हे ग्रुप वाईज अरेंज झाले, म्हणजे असेंडिंग ऑर्डर. बाय डिफॉल्ट त्याची ऑर्डर काय आली, असेंडिंग आली. नाउ वी कॅन अप्लाय ग्रुप बाय आलं. नाउ वी कॅन अप्लाय वेअर कंडिशन. वेअर काउंट एजच्या व्हॅल्यू काउंट करायचे, आणि ज्याची व्हॅल्यू 2 आहे, ग्रेटर दॅन इक्वल्स टू 2, तर ते रेकॉर्ड तिथे डिस्प्ले करायचं आहे. तर वेअर कंडिशन इथे अप्लाय होते. We can consider where condition first, then what is the record. Invalid use of group function. Group. Okay, instead of where we have to use here having. इथे वेअरच्या ऐवजी तुम्हाला हॅव्हिंग वापरावं लागेल, कारण वेअर कंडिशन अप्लाय कशावरती होते, सिलेक्शन वरती. आणि ग्रुप बाय वरती तुम्हाला जर कंडिशन अप्लाय करायची असेल तर त्या ठिकाणी काय वापरावं लागेल, हॅव्हिंग क्लॉज. मी तुम्हाला आता सांगितलं होतं, दॅट इज माय मिस्टेक. Now age, we arrange the record according to the groups, okay, first, and then we can apply the condition on that particular age, that is we use the having clause. Okay, having count of age greater than equals to 2. दोन सारखंच एज, दोन काउंटर्स त्या ठिकाणी आहेत. आपण टेबलमध्ये जर बघितलं, 25 एजचा एक पर्सन राकेश एक पर्सन आहे, आणि दुसरा पर्सन आहे चेताली. ओके, या दोघांचा काउंटर सेम एज असलेली व्हॅल्यू काय आली तुम्हाला, 2 व्हॅल्यू आली, म्हणून त्यांचं रेकॉर्ड त्यांनी काय केलं, डिस्प्ले केलं. त्यांचं रेकॉर्ड काय केलं, एकाच रेकॉर्ड कोणाचा तरी जो फर्स्ट असेल त्याचा रेकॉर्ड तो डिस्प्ले होईल. फक्त आपण कंडिशन कशावरती अप्लाय केली, एज वरती, बरोबर. नाउ that when we apply the condition or when we perform the grouping on a particular column, then we don't consider other fields. We only focus on that particular field on which we apply the group by clause, and we can apply the पर्टिक्युलर हॅव्हिंग क्लॉज. लक्षात आलंय? ग्रुप बाय चा यूज करून तुमचे ग्रुप्स तयार झाले. आधी आपण फक्त ग्रुप बाय यूज केलं होतं. ग्रुप बाय मध्ये 22 चा एक ग्रुप तयार झाला, 23 एज असलेला एक ग्रुप तयार झाला, 25 एज असलेला एक ग्रुप तयार झाला, 27 एजचा एक ग्रुप आला आणि 32 एजचा एक ग्रुप आला. बरोबर? असे ग्रुप वाईज तुमचं काय झालं, अरेंजमेंट त्या ठिकाणी झाली. आणि त्यानंतर काय झालं, जे ग्रुप्स तयार झाले त्या ग्रुपमध्ये मग 22 एज असलेल्या ग्रुपचा एज काउंट, नंबर ऑफ एजेस काउंट केले, त्याची व्हॅल्यू एकच मिळाली. 23 इयर असलेले ग्रुप काउंट केला, त्याच्यामध्ये नंबर ऑफ रेकॉर्ड फक्त 1 मिळाला. 25 चा ग्रुप काउंट केला, तिथे मात्र तुम्हाला काउंटरची व्हॅल्यू ग्रेटर दॅन 2 मिळाली, इक्वल टू 2 मिळाली. म्हणजे 25 एज असलेले 2 व्हॅल्यू आहेत, तो 2 नंबर त्या ठिकाणी मिळाला. बरोबर? म्हणून ते रेकॉर्ड काय केलं, 25 एज असलेली व्हॅल्यू त्या ठिकाणी डिस्प्ले केली. नाउ वी इन्सर्ट वन मोर रेकॉर्ड इन दी सेम टेबल having the same group, having the group. Okay, now insert record number 7. Okay, we consider here, suppose Ganesh, and age is 22 for the 6th number, I think. Okay, we use 32. Suppose age is 32 and from Kopargaon. Okay, and we have to consider the salary. Okay, 8,500. All these things we are getting, we insert this record. Okay, we insert this record. We can consider the select star from customer 1. We get this record. Now what happened here, we have two groups having counter value more than 2. 32 एक आहे आणि 25 एक आहे. Now we can apply the same query again. That is, select ID, name, age, address, salary from the customer 1, group by age, having count age greater than 20, greater than equal to 2. We get 2 records. Can you get 2 records? आधी फक्त 32 एज असलेली एकच व्हॅल्यू होती म्हणून त्याने आपल्याला दाखवलं नाही, परंतु 32 एज असलेल्या 2 व्हॅल्यू आहेत, 2 ग्रुप, एका ग्रुपमध्ये 2 नंबर आले, त्यामुळे त्या ठिकाणी काय झालं, तुमचे ते रेकॉर्ड तिथे डिस्प्ले झाला. दिस इज द ग्रुप बाय हॅव्हिंग clause. Okay, now we can arrange the record as per. Now here we can apply order by. आता कोणत्या ऑर्डरने द्यायचंय तुम्हाला रेकॉर्ड? आता ऑलरेडी इथे जे अरेंज केलंय ऑर्डर बाय, जे रेकॉर्ड दिलंय आपण ऑलरेडी जे अरेंज केलेलं आहे ते एजच्या असेंडिंग ऑर्डरने दिलेलं आहे, परंतु आपल्याला ते डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डरने पाहिजे. ऑर्डर बाय एज DESC. काय म्हटले मी? डिसेंडिंग म्हणजे 32 पहिले वरती जाईल आणि 25 बाय डिफॉल्ट ते असेंडिंग असतं, आपण ते डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डरने रेकॉर्ड अरेंज करू. हे बघा इथे रेकॉर्ड अरेंज झालंय तुमचं डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डरने, म्हणजे तुमचा हा ऑर्डर बाय क्लॉज कोणाला अप्लाय झाला? हॅव्हिंग क्लॉज कडनं सिलेक्ट झालेल्या ग्रुप बाय मधल्या रेकॉर्ड्सला. लक्षात आलंय? अशा पद्धतीने हे तिघही कॉम्बाईन करून आपल्याला जी क्वेरी राईट करायची ती प्रॉपर क्वेरी किंवा एक ऑप्टिमाइज फॉर्मॅट मधले क्वेरीज जेव्हा आपल्याला घ्यायच्या असतील अशा वेळेस आपण काय करणार, ह्या पद्धतीने ऑर्डर बाय, ग्रुप बाय अँड हॅव्हिंग क्लॉज त्या ठिकाणी यूज करणार आहोत. इन शॉर्ट, वी कॅन अप्लाय group by clause on the selected records from select clause and apply the condition on grouped record using having clause, and we arrange the selected record with group by and having clause with the help of order by clause. Can you got it? All these things? Okay, now next thing here, we consider the next point about this representation. Next queries are there, we can use this group by clause. Okay, we discuss all these things once again. ठीक आहे, इथे बघा ऑर्डर बाय क्लॉज, ग्रुप बाय आणि ऑर्डर बाय, जे आपण इथे हॅव्हिंग नाही दिलेलं. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, वी कन्सिडर दिस पर्टिक्युलर रेकॉर्ड, वी डोंट मेन्शन द क्वेरी. Okay, we don't mention this condition having clause, we don't want that particular having clause, we just consider group by and order by. We apply this order on the given age ग्रुप. एज वाईज जे ग्रुप तयार झालेत त्यांच्यावरती काय केलं तुम्ही, ऑर्डर अरेंज केली, डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर त्या ठिकाणी मेन्शन केली. 32 बघा, हायेस्ट नंबर, लोएस्ट नंबर, त्याच्यापेक्षा लहान आणि त्याच्यापेक्षा डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डरने त्या ठिकाणी रेकॉर्ड काय झाला, अरेंज झाला. दॅट इज द वे टू अप्लाय द ऑर्डर बाय क्लॉज अँड ग्रुप बाय क्लॉज combined. Okay, this is the syntax corresponding to that. Now here we also consider this particular query which is also discussed in the previous. Okay, Now next point we have to discuss, that is the date and string functions. There are different types of functions we have to use in case of a SQL language. Okay, now we have some built-in functions provided by the SQL language, and we directly use them in your data processing. Okay, now date functions, that is the SQL provide number of functions that returns the value related to that of the current date and time. If you want to display the date, if you want to access the particular date, accordingly we can consider that particular functions. Now here the first function is given there, that is the age. If you want to calculate age of a person, if we mention that is, it can returns the interval between two dates. Okay, it can return the interval between two dates, that is the calculate age between the current date and current date midnight time is given there, and the timestamp, and the returns a symbolic result which uses the years and months, how many years and how many months are there. जे या ठिकाणी बघा टाइम स्टॅम्प जो असतो, टाइम स्टॅम्प म्हणजे त्या ठिकाणी तुम्ही सिस्टीम काय करते, त्याचं एक आपण जर बाय डिफॉल्ट डेट्स त्या ठिकाणी प्रोव्हाइड नाही केलेल्या, तर त्या ठिकाणी काय केलं जातं, नाव हिअर वी कॅन कन्सिडर द एज फंक्शन. That is age function we can use. We can pass some sort of. We first discuss all these things and then we can apply the queries. Okay, timestamp we have to given there. डेट मिडनाईट म्हणजे कम्प्युटर सिस्टीमची जी करंट डेट असेल त्या करंट डेट पासून पाठीमागचा जो टाइम स्टॅम्प आहे, स्टार्टिंग टाइम स्टॅम्प, तुम्ही जर तिथे टाइम स्टॅम्प व्हॅल्यू जर दिलेली नसेल तर तो बाय डिफॉल्ट सिस्टीमची टाइम स्टॅम्प व्हॅल्यू कन्सिडर करतो, बट वी नीड टू पास दॅट टाइम स्टॅम्प व्हॅल्यू. Okay, we get that particular result, that is in the form of age. Now current date function returns the current system date. Okay, current date काय आहे ती डेट त्या ठिकाणी रिटर्न होते. करंट टाइम रिटर्न्स द करंट टाइम. ओके, दिस इज द फंक्शन नेम and this is the return value. टाइम स्टॅम्पच्या फॉर्मॅटमध्ये जस्ट एक नंबर त्या ठिकाणी रिटर्न होतो, तो करंट टाइम असणार. नाव करंट टाइम स्टॅम्प रिटर्न केला तर देन नेक्स्ट इज अ डेट पार्ट, double precision. Now get a field of a timestamp or an interval, year, month, day, etc. डेट मध्ये आपण ह्या तीन गोष्टी घेतो. टाइम मध्ये हवर्स, मिनिट्स, सेकंड्स, मिली सेकंड्स घेतले जातात. मग आपल्याला त्यामधला फक्त काही पार्ट पाहिजे असतो. बऱ्याच ठिकाणी बऱ्याच वेळा प्रोसेसिंग करत असताना आपल्याला फक्त इयरची गरज पडते. नाउ वी वॉन्ट टू सिलेक्ट ओनली द पार्ट ऑफ इयर. Sometimes we require only month part. We want to select only the part of month. We want to select only the part of day. We want to select only the part of particular time. That's why we can consider use this date part function. Okay. Now date trunc, that is it can returns the timestamp truncated to a specified precision. Timestamp value return होते इथे. आपण जो प्रेसिजन इथे पास करतो ती प्रेसिजन व्हॅल्यू सोडून राहिलेला पार्ट काय केला जातो, तुम्हाला रिटर्न केला जातो. दॅट इज अ ट्रंकेटेड फॉर्म ऑफ अ डेट. देन नाउ इज नथिंग बट द डेट अँड टाइम कॅन बी रिटर्न विथ द झोन ऍट विच द करंट ट्रान्झॅक्शन स्टार्ट. तुम्ही करंट ट्रान्झॅक्शन कधी स्टार्ट केलं त्या टायमिंगचा, त्यावेळेचा जो काही टायमिंग असेल किंवा जी डेट असेल, त्या दोन्ही गोष्टी टाइम स्टॅम्पच्या फॉर्मॅटमध्ये काय होतात त्या ठिकाणी रिटर्न होतात. नाउ टाइम ऑफ अ डे, that is it is a text format and it returns the current date and time of all as a text string. To date, that is convert our timestamp into the date. डेटच्या फॉर्मॅट मध्ये दिलेल्या टाइमस्टॅम्पची व्हॅल्यू डेट मध्ये कन्वर्ट होईल. टू टाइमस्टॅम्प, आपण दिलेला नंबर टाइमस्टॅम्पच्या फॉर्मॅट मध्ये काय केला जाईल, कन्वर्ट केला जाईल. These are some date functions we have to use in your SQL language. Different types of functions can be used in your language. Now we consider some corresponding queries related to this date and time. Now we have to apply the age function. Function is there, that's why we need to consider this particular value. That is have an error in SQL check the manual error syntax at age. Consider select age. If we have to execute the function, then we consider select age function bank system. Now we consider next function, that is select current date. Select current date. Okay, can you see this? select current date. Okay, the current date is time format of this date is nothing but 2001 year dash month and then dash 02. This is the current date. Now next thing here we can consider the current the next function corresponding to this is nothing but the current time is there. Okay, current instead of date we consider current time. We have this particular time. This is the current time, system current time. You can check your time. What is the current time is exactly 9:46 and 39 seconds is there. Minute, that is hours, minutes and seconds. This is the current time. Now next thing, if you want to select current timestamp, now instead of timestamp, timestamp value I want to show you. What is the timestamp value? Time STAMP is there, timestamp value. This is the timestamp. Total, we have, in case of a timestamp, we get date as well as time. Timestamp म्हणजे काय? That is the combination of date and time. दोघांचं कॉम्बिनेशन द्यायचं, दोन्ही एकत्र करायचे. पहिल्यांदा डेट असेल, त्यानंतर तुमचा टाइम असेल. जर तुम्हाला फक्त डेट डिस्प्ले करायची, करंट डेट म्हणणार. जर तुम्हाला फक्त टाइम डिस्प्ले करायचा असेल तर तुम्ही करंट टाइम म्हणणार आहात. आणि तुम्हाला टोटल डेट आणि टाइम दोन्ही गोष्टी जर पाहिजे असतील तर तुम्ही काय म्हणणार? करंट टाइम स्टॅम्प त्या ठिकाणी रिप्रेझेंट करणार. ओके, नाउ नेक्स्ट थिंग, नेक्स्ट एक्झाम्पल इज नथिंग बट डेट फंक्शन. तर डेट फंक्शन साठी current time is there, current time stamp is there. Now to date function is used to converting the string into the dates. That is the to date we have to apply the syntax text. त्याच्या corresponding syntax पण आपल्याला use करावा लागतो. The if you want to execute the particular to date function, तर मला to date function वापरायचं असेल, to underscore date, तर या ठिकाणी याचा syntax आहे text comma टेक्स्ट. टेक्स्ट कॉमा टेक्स्ट म्हणजे तुम्ही त्या ठिकाणी काय करणार, ही जी इथे जो मेन्शन केलेला आहे हा नंबर त्या ठिकाणी पास होतो. एक नंबरच्या फॉर्मॅटमध्ये डेटा पास होतो आणि तो नंबर काय करायचा तुम्हाला, त्या ठिकाणी दोन नंबर्स त्या ठिकाणी तसे पास करायचे. ओके, आणि ते दोन नंबर पास करून तुम्हाला काय करायचंय, त्याची जी काही डेट असेल डेटच्या फॉर्मॅटमध्ये त्याला कन्वर्ट करायचं. नाउ यू कॅन चेक द एक्झाम्पल, दॅट इज टू डेट. Select, we can consider select to date. पहिला टेक्स्ट मी पास केलं to date, that is a date, comma दुसरा टेक्स्ट मी पास करतोय डेट फॉर्मॅट, that is we consider dd, suppose 02 dash month 01 dash, we have to pass 2021. Okay, we get this particular date, just in to date bank system. Okay, we consider these functions in the next lecture right now. First of all, I will clear all these functions first and then I will show you them. Okay, first of all I will check the syntax of all those things. Okay, we only just know about this function, which function is used for which purpose. Can you understood all these things? We execute all the practically, we consider all these functions with practically. Now currently we will stop. In the next lecture we discuss about the string functions and the remaining part of this particular chapter. Okay, now we stop at this point right now. So goodbye all of you.